everyone. Obviously, it's an honor to be a part of this coach's caravan. I'm actually celebrating my 10th year with Penn State, and it has absolutely flown by. The highlights, obviously, in 2015, winning our first national championship as a program, and next year coming up on 25 years as a varsity program at Penn State. So a lot of exciting things going on right now.
Erica, yesterday you mentioned chasing greatness. I think just a little piece in your remarks yesterday, but could you tell us a little bit maybe more about that campaign and what that means to you, and maybe big picture about the program?
Sure. We obviously have the pillars that we pride ourselves in our program, which are attitude of a champion, blue collar, and united family. But beyond that, I think each year, each team takes on its own personality, and with this particular team, we feel as though we've got all the makings of greatness this year. And so we're 100 days out. As of yesterday, we were 100 days out from our opening match, and we certainly want to get the public and our fans excited about that idea. We are the first match on campus every year out on Jeffrey Field. So hopefully that creates some excitement, some buzz, and the idea of starting out and getting after it.
Playing your husband Altoona, he's from Altoona.
My husband is from Punxsutawney, and we got back from Pittsburgh last night about 12:30, and he was still buzzing from the big Pittsburgh win. So yeah, it's a pretty exciting time for him. I'm a Philly fan, so I can whatever.
What kind of experience is it for the players coming back and from the Papua New Guinea and kind of passing that experience along to the players that are still out?
Yeah, so in this past season, we had 5 players from the U.S. that were involved in a U20 World Cup over in Papua New Guinea. So they took a leave of absence from our team this past year, as well as one player from Germany that took a leave during the NCAA tournament. Now we've got all those players back in. We've got the players that have had opportunities while those players are gone, and now we've integrated them back into the team over the course of the last few months. We've got all that experience coming back, international experience, and at this point, I think that the experience that you gain overseas, seeing a little bit of a different style of play, I think is super beneficial bringing it back into your own team, obviously.
How challenging is that, finding the balance between getting your team together and knowing what you have coming back, as far as also getting people that kind of level of play?
Yeah, those are the types of challenges that you want as a coach, is trying to integrate five or six players that are away at a World Cup with these players that have gained so much experience that may not have had those opportunities otherwise. So we actually spent the spring season talking about how to support each other, obviously, how to enjoy the moment, enjoy the opportunity. But it certainly is a challenge. It's not something that you just, you put the group back together and it just forms in and of itself. Put a lot of time in the spring, and hopefully we'll reap the benefits this fall.
Erica, is it difficult, or was it difficult reflecting on getting that national championship, or is it easier as a coach to get the girls to buy in that next year, and how do you feel like you guys are going to come close to that again in the coming seasons?
Yeah, after 2015 and the opportunity to win our first national champion, not just for the team, but for the coaching staff as well, a lot of the energy and excitement comes obviously with those moments, and I think that all it makes you do is dig in a little bit more. I think last year we came in with a different fire in our stomachs, a burning desire to continue to repeat that excellence. And fortunately, and I'll say this later, we're in Rec Hall where we've got champions all around us in wrestling and volleyball. So I utilize those resources. I talked to Russ Rose, I talked to Gail Sanderson, and how do you continue to sustain that level of excellence? Because as we all know, I think it's one thing to win your first one, it's another that's a whole other deal to stay on top when you've got that target on your back.
And what has been the biggest learning lesson for you then in the last season, and with that, trying to hold that fire and sustain the success?
I think the biggest learning lesson is that that talent is just not enough. And you see that with James's program, the coach's program. It's obviously not just about talent, and so you've got to really put that time in investing in one another. And so when we talk about phrases like chasing greatness, it's not just on the field. It's obviously in everything they do. And talking about having an attitude of a champion, and make sure that it comes across all parts of their life, and that they can't just turn it off and on. And you see that a little bit with college students. They don't feel like showing up or upholding the standard and just preaching that on a daily basis. So it's not a choice. If you're a champion, if you've got that attitude, then it's in everything you do.
Obviously, there's some proposed facilities upgrades to Jeffrey. How anxious, I guess, are you for those? what's it like kind of counting down the clock towards getting those done?
Yeah, these upgrades to Jeffrey Field are obviously a huge deal for us. They'll include restrooms and concession stands and team rooms, seat backs, and it will affect what we do on a daily basis, everything that we do. Obviously for our fan experience, but for our player experience as well. It's time. Our men's program's 100 years old. There's been all sorts of success within the soccer programs. It's time to give the fans some restrooms to use throughout the match. But most importantly, it will provide us a best-in-class facility, something similar to a Google Ice Arena.